Things happen sometimes. The hospital I was partnering with didn't go as planned. Courtney and I got pregnant.
Put your head down, shut up, and work. Manifest yourself as positively as you can, and things start aligning.
There's no way I'm gonna start a company. Plus, I didn't feel great about what happened. Plus, I have a kid. If life is giving me a signal that I need to pivot, then I'll pivot.
It's a company that's been through blood, pain, and sweat. I can figure it out, but it's gonna have a few zeros behind it.
The man I want to model is a man that's always finding his edge.
It's really hard to know what makes people tick. So it's not only hiring the right people, it's then keeping them engaged. Two vascular surgeons walk into a bar and come out with a podcast. We are talking everything vascular and not. Welcome to the Life of Flow podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Life of Flow podcast with your hosts, Lucas and Miguel.
I'm back.
I'm back.
I'm back. Yeah, man. Did you guys miss me? Did you guys notice how lost Lucas sounded without me in a few shows?
It was great. They loved it. They're like, "Who the hell is Miguel?"
If it sounds like it performed, if it performed way better, then honestly, just keep going without me, man. I'm fine. I'm too old for this shit anyway.
We need your like angry banter.
We need your unhinged, therapy missing personality. Yep.
I know. What are you gonna do? Like, gonna spend too much in therapy?
I've been getting a lot of calls lately about you, about what's going on with you, about what happened.
What are the calls about? Like, what?
Well, because you were going. You had a very clear trajectory, and I think we talked a lot about what you were, maybe dreaming about in your future endeavor back to the Mother Island. And then I think that you've shifted a little bit direction, and a lot of people are like, "Hey, what's going on? Like, what happened? Like, what is he gonna do? Does he have another job? Like, what's his plan?" And so anyway, maybe how about you update us a little bit on what's been going on and how that all conspired, and where are you at right now, and what does that mean for you?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna go back to Puerto Rico. And I felt really strongly about that. And as things happen sometimes, they don't go as planned. And with the hospital I was kind of partnering with, it's just things didn't, let's just say things didn't go as planned. And then Courtney and I got pregnant. And yeah, which was fine. Like, I was planning to, like, once, we were planning to have kids once we moved. But then that
Just side comment, I named my kid after you, so I expect the same in return.
I'm not gonna name him Miguel.
You have to, dude. I named my kid Lucas for you. Everybody thinks that's.
I'll name my second one for you.
Everybody thinks that, right? I was like, "Oh, you and Lucas, you're so good friends. You named your kid." I was like, "No, it's got nothing to do with
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
No. But hey, do you care to go into the details as to why the opportunity fell through, or no?
I would rather not air dirty laundry. I'm sure they're not happy with me either. But anyways, like, something happened where things were in a timeline, and I found myself, I gave my job like 6 months in advance to say, hey, I'm not going to be here. So I want to be pretty transparent. And I found myself, a couple weeks until my job at UT ended, and we're very unclear of what was going to happen in Puerto Rico. So that, and then I was like, at that point, Courtney told me she was pregnant. And I'm like, what the hell am I going to do? So I scrambled, and thankfully enough, the world's very small. So two people that we knew from Baylor, Elias Kafuri, great guy, and then Jonathan Braun, they're places we're looking for locums. So I just grabbed those, and they're great. So I've been doing locums. I went with Elias to Wyoming, and that was great. He has a great team. Anyway, so I've been doing locums, and I tried to go back, but at the same time, when I went back to Puerto Rico, tried to have a conversation, it kind of cleared out. But at that point, it didn't feel the same. And plus our plus having a kid. And then, so Demetrius and I were wanting to start a company for an idea that we developed after we left. And then we got funding from an accelerator. We got a significant amount of money to bring into reality. So at that point, the accelerator is based in Austin, and I'm like, these opportunities. I think things happen for a reason. So I'm like, I don't think I'll get too many opportunities where like an accelerator is going to give me a chunk of change to try to bring something to reality. And going to Puerto Rico would mean working every single day for like 2 years by myself. So I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna start a company and then start a practice in Puerto Rico. Plus, I didn't feel great about what happened. Plus, I have a kid. So we decided together, Courtney and I, to follow the opportunity, and if life is giving me a signal that I need to pivot, then I'll pivot.
I mean, I think it's important for for people out there to understand that, a lot of times things just don't work out, the
Hmm.
way you thought they were.
Yeah.
And that there's one thing that's incredibly important about what we do, which is we have our education, and we are blessed to be in a time where still healthcare providers are incredibly important,
Yeah.
and your capacity to pivot, and find alternative ways in which you can practice um, your art are more robust now than ever. And I would even say for vascular surgeons, I don't necessarily think this is the same for cardiology, or interventional radiology, but I think for vascular surgeons right now, the opportunity of living a very nomadic lifestyle, if you may, is is incredibly possible. I mean, you can get paid pretty okay and allow yourself to even resemble what at some point in the past I always thought was impossible, which is the way that ED guys work, which is, hey, we do shifts. And, remember we talked with one of your ex uh, residency, I want to say,
He
I
was my
forget her
chief,
name,
yeah.
the
Oh,
chief.
oh,
Yeah,
no, no,
yeah.
no, that was that no, she was my attending, Elaine Chan, yeah.
Oh, Elaine, yeah, and so she
Yeah, yeah,
said,
yeah.
like, "Listen, you know what? I work this amount of time, and then I take all this time off, and I
Yeah,
kinda eat my funds, and and c'est la vie," right? Like, and you create that, but you can be very purposeful for that, and you can save, you can invest, you can create a work and life balance, and you
I
can,
mean,
so
the
tell me a little bit about
I
this,
yeah,
because really nobody, like, go back to
yeah,
training. What would they
yeah.
say? What do you
It's
do? What
frowned
are you gonna do?
upon.
Academics,
Yeah.
or are you gonna do private? Nobody said, "Are you gonna
Well,
do locums?" Like it's
and
it's
not
almost like
and
just
yeah,
old people do that, right? Like just washed off guys or washed up guys that have problems with their medical licensing that have to go to the middle of nowhere to do some locums. That's how it was viewed, at least when we were in the
100%.
hospital.
100%. I don't know why locums
It's
has like
very weird.
yeah, but there's like more, there's different levels to this because I was recently offered, and I'm not gonna say where, but it
Just
like
kind
a
of
half
example
FTE,
A.
half FTE, so work 26 weeks a year for twice what I was making at UT,
Mm.
which was
So for
so
half of the work, you can
twice
get
the
double the money.
so it's more money than you would get. It's probably more than the base salary that you would get at a hospital, like a hospital employed job
Yeah.
in the outskirts of Dallas. say, but you're
So
working.
not even, we're not talking about Alaska.
No. This place is far. It's not. Yeah, it's a small town. It's. I think this happens more in like in rural communities, but I mean that's something to think about. That you can do a lot with that time. You can do a lot with 2 weeks off. So if you have other projects, which, anyways, I just didn't even know that's possible. And then it's not locums necessarily. It could be like a full-time employee job, or you can do a service agreement. So I'm learning all this stuff about service agreements now, and
Uh-huh.
you know how to structure those and how to negotiate at hospitals. There's like so much
Because there's
that
a
I'm.
great need, right? I mean, they were in a
Yeah.
quintessential part of hospital operations. Any hospital, any reputable hospital that has an emergency department, that has
Mm.
ICU, and that have procedures happening, whether those are cardiology procedures or whether those are surgical procedures, inevitably they're going to need a vascular surgeon. And you're going to find yourself in a pickle as a hospital if you don't have that service, because you're going to have to be flying out people that have misdeployed angioseals left and right.
Mm.
And that, that's not right. I'm not saying that your practice should just
And
be.
I don't want, and I don't actually don't want to put that out there like that. All the locums people are. I don't even want to like say anything bad that if you're hiring locums, it's going to be less quality, but it's inconsistent. You're getting inconsistency as far as like the who's coming is a different person every time. But anyways, like it's not even. It's just like this is a possibility, which is interesting, and
So
it's
do
not
you feel that
necessarily
you
that I'm
could
going to
be
take it.
do you think that
Yeah.
you could be fulfilled professionally with that? Because I'm sure some people right now at home, or in their vehicles, are thinking, I would never be able to do that. Like, I would like to have a team. I'd like to have consistency in the way I do things. I'd like to be my own boss in a way. But
You're not
do
your
you
own
think,
boss if you're working for someone else, bro. You're not.
well, I was saying, like in
Yeah.
my case, right, that I build my own
No.
thing. And
Yeah, no,
so
I wouldn't. I don't think that
w-
that's,
do
yeah.
you think that you can find do you think that you can be a locums guy all your life? Or do you think this is just a
No.
temporary patch?
No, I think this is a temporary patch, but I think it is a good bridge, and not only locums. I think, like, say you wanna build out something, and it's you and someone else. Let's just say hypothetically, you and someone else wanna build an OBL somewhere. You get a service contract somewhere for 26 weeks, and you divide it in between both of you. And let's say
That's
that's,
13 weeks. That's nothing.
that's nothing, and that's your base salary, and you don't have to worry about your base salary. You do that for 2 years until you grow your practice, and then you help that hospital find someone else to do that. I think that's a win-win for everyone. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. And
And
also,
and
like, say you're building your practice, but one thing that since I haven't operated in like 2 months, and it's been so nice to go back and operate. Um, really, it's like, man, I kind of miss
did it
this.
feel good?
It feels good. Yeah, I did like a couple open cases and stuff like that. So I'm like, I I don't know, I want to leave that. So say I want to
I
still to
don't
go
miss
ahead
it
and
at all.
really
I don't miss it
nothing.
at all, at
Yeah,
all.
yeah, dude.
Mm-mm.
I like the redo groins and shit like that, but like a little bit, just a little bit.
You love pain. That's
Uh,
what that means. Those are cases that are
you know,
painful.
yeah, like every so often do like something like that. So I'm like, okay, I might do that forever. Just have a week somewhere, like some community place that operates well, that has complexity, and then I go and do some crazy shit, and then I come back and do 3 weeks of office-based work, and then, I find a partner that wants to do that, and we just divide it up. That sounds good to me.
It's so for me, it's the everything around it is what's
Mm,
taxing.
mm.
Um, it's hard to have an independent outpatient practice and to have a hospital-based high complexity program at the same time,
Yeah, but
you know?
this is where, like, I think you find a place where they just need you for a week, and then you hand it out off to that person that they probably have someone that's there all the time, and then you go in, you cover them, you give them some relief, and then you hand it off, and then you come back next month, 1 week. That's it.
Yeah, I think I would just have to get over the notion that I should provide longitudinal care, because that's how
You
I
are
see it.
you
If
well,
I'm not gonna be there and see you through your groin infection, if I'm not gonna be there and see you through, you know, your
mm,
foot reconstruction, um, I don't know that I would that I wanna insert myself temporarily into that. I would rather,
mm.
in my opinion, I would rather give that case to a group of guys that are in the hospital and where I can be, in a
Oh,
way, part of the
what if
team.
yeah, but what if they don't have yeah, but they don't have that option, right? Because a lot of these places don't have
Right.
that can't
Yeah, yeah.
hire. So it's not all or nothing, you know. You
Yeah,
find
I'm not
yeah,
saying, I'm just saying these are
yeah, yeah.
my own views, is that the reason why I haven't really even tried to create something like that is because potentially the part of me that wants to see things through finds it unjust, unfair with the patient that I just come in and out and don't necessarily have face value for the good and the bad, right? Some of these cases, most of them I would say go well, but some go really bad. And you have to be there and you have to be talking to the family and you have to have conversations and you have to be in the OR in and out and talking to the ICU and coordinating with everybody and you're getting calls and they're going to, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I think it's why having teams work. And I think that that works perfectly when you have a bunch of people on the same team that could take care of these, complex things that happen in and out. I'm in a really I'm in a really good place right now, I'll tell you,
Yeah.
in that
Yeah, tell me about
sense.
you. Yeah.
I have been very, very blessed, um, that there is a guy who I've asked to be on the pod. I don't know when he said he agreed to come, but he, has not yet recorded, but his name is Christopher Charlton Owl, and he's a vascular surgeon here in the city of Houston. He's been here for a long time. Super, super nice guy. Just really one of the kindest people that I've met in this environment that's a little bit cutthroaty here in Houston, especially the medical center. Um, and a very a true empath in many ways. And he essentially, when I came to him and I said, "Listen, I would love to be able to be part of something, but let me be as honest as possible. This is what I'm building, and this is what I want to do. But I feel a moral burden, to be able to hand off a lot of these patients to somebody that has a team that could take care of complexities. And I can provide a lot of these services, um, but I'm not here at the hospital every day. And I'm not really interested in doing all these long cases, but I also don't want to just send them to the community. I want to feel part of a team and I want to be able to give my input and maybe even work these patients up and have part of this and then hand off to like the hospital team. And you know what? It was so refreshing that he listened to me, and then we had a couple of meetings, and he came back and he actually said, "You know what, Miguel? It is undeniable that today, outpatient, minimally invasive care of PAD and venous disease is part of what we do." And we just opened our vascular surgery residency. And if you're okay with it, I not only want to be part of your, like, I not only want to make sure that you're part of our team, but I want to involve you fully. I want to give fellows the opportunity to learn from you. You're a key opinion leader. You're a guy that's out there, very respected. You've done a lot of good things. You've published a lot of great papers. And I think that it would be, it's in my best interest to have a program that has, uh, guys the quality of yours, um, as mentors. And And out of the blue, I'm a professor now at the University of Houston, and I never really thought academics was gonna be part of my life again, and
Yeah.
now fellows come to Hope. They help us transition care, they help us take care of patients when they need to go there. Um, things happen, stents go down, these patients
What?
potentially may end up in the ED, and it's really cool to now be an integrated part of the system because, um, for whatever reason, the time I was at Houston, I was the private guy. Fellows would not even scrub with me. They would see a
Uh-huh.
patient at 2 in the morning and they would sign off immediately. They'd be like, "Oh, I'm Ontario, call him." And so it was like a real one-man show,
Yeah.
one man island. Um, self Definitely in many ways self-inflicted, um,
Mhm.
but it was hard. It was really hard. And in retrospect, when I see that, one of the things KCO, which is Christopher Charlton now said is like, "How did you survive 3 years like that?" And I look
Yeah.
back and I was like, I don't know. I was just going in and out of the hospitals, in and out of Hope, in and out of my house. I was rounding Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. Like I always was on call. They would be nice enough to cover me when I was out of the country, but other than that, it was pretty much me. And now I feel backed up. I'm in a really good position. So and here's I guess what maybe some people can take home from this is if you're out there and you're thinking that you want to have an outpatient practice, you know what? Create the relationship with the hospital guys because they may help you a lot and you may help them. And, what we felt now is I see, for example, a really complex case that probably needs an aorta bifemoral. I'm just going to hand it over to KCO. KCO is going to do a great job. He's got a team, he's got ICU, he's rounds, he's at the hospital all day. He has OR time every single day. He takes care of it. Even an emergency case that goes there, even if it's my patient, they'll take care of it. Patient comes back to me. I also, at the same time, have elective time for DVAs or for detour procedures. So I still use the hospital for certain higher level CPTs that are not reimbursed within the OBL. I go there and I provide that. But we've become like a really nice hybrid where even though we're not necessarily under the same tax ID, we're just taking care of patients, man. And it's really nice because it just feels right. It feels like we're doing the right thing. And it's the other thing that I love is a smaller hospital, HCA Medical Center. It's a very tiny hospital in comparison to the monster that both St. Luke's and even more so Methodist was. There, it's like every I know every staff member now already, and it's just been like 2 months. Everybody already knows me. They know what I like. They know how I like it. I'm the only guy other than Casey over there. So they've already ordered some of the products I want. They've been very welcoming. And now there's an HCA in Pearland now that I'm a suburbs guy, right? Like I left the city. I left I
You keep
left
going
all
farther and farther away.
I left all of my life behind, guys. For everybody, I left that life behind. And now I'm a very happy camper dad
Suburban
and
dad.
in the
Wait,
suburbs. And so there's an
you're doing
HCA in Pearland.
you're camping?
No, no, I
Oh,
didn't say
okay.
anything.
I thought you said happy
But I
camper.
should be.
Okay, yeah,
I'm a happy
yeah.
camper. Like
Okay,
it's a
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
I'm a happy camper.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And but I'm in the suburbs, and so now I mean it takes me 18 minutes to drive into Hope every day. It's nothing. 288 is a straight shot forward. But now Pearland, which has an HCA, which is 8 minutes from my house, already got privileges there. So now I'm going to start doing cases there, even a step closer to my house. And I've already created the same relationship with the vascular surgeon at Pearland, which is, hey, let's just help each other. And they'll even also ask me, hey, if can you cover a call here or there? Of course I can cover a call, right? Like I'm happy to again be accepted into a team and be part of a team. Even though I have my solo practice, even though I'm very happy with the success that we have, with the volume that we've created, with having 35 people under our office and 3 now sites of service. But it's always nice to be part of a group, and that camaraderie that I was really missing from the hospital is back in. Like now I could go to a session and talk about my cases. I didn't have that. Like, I didn't have that. And if I was, it was never really, then it just never felt right. And it feels right again. And so it's kind of nice to be back into that. So that's what I've been up to.
Yeah. I just want to make a comment. I have been enjoying it, and I've always enjoyed smaller hospitals,
Right?
especially
They're
much
so
more
nice.
than much more than bigger hospitals.
The
Right now,
food is great.
the food is great. The people, like, it's just there's something. I think there's something about organizations when they pass a certain size that it just becomes not very pleasant to work there. And a smaller hospital is just like much nicer to work at if the culture is there. But
Yeah,
anyways,
nothing against the guys at Methodist. Listen, those are awesome dudes. Like, I love each one of them.
it's not
But
about the people. Yeah, it's about
me
the yeah,
against 7 in a way, like, for hospital needs, for getting an OR, for all that stuff becomes a problem, and then especially if there's, the residency, the residents don't care to help, and the fellows don't care to help, it becomes very isolating. And
yeah.
and so in this other system, it's just me and him at this point. So it's
That's
really nice. There's full hybrid ORs and 2 vascular surgeons. One full-time there, and then me
yeah,
that comes in once every, I
perfect.
I like to operate Fridays. They hate it, but, it's the day I can, and they
Yeah.
accommodate it. They got some people, it works, and it's great.
So you have three sites. So you're 3 years in, and you have three sites of service.
Yeah.
Tell me about that expansion.
So I would say maybe I would even say 4 sites of service. One is a very interesting model that I've been helping in the northeast side of town, eh, which is a very busy cardiology practice that was facing a lot of PAD, and they required some training and some mentorship. And what I did is I started a monthly clinic out there. And so I go out there and I meet the patients and I work up the patients, but it's essentially in their clinic, as a mentorship program. And then some of those translate into cases that they like me to do. And patients are actually really comfortable coming here to get a procedure done after I've met them, because a lot of these people don't like coming to the medical center, because it's daunting, it's complex, it's cold. They're paying $30 for parking. Um, but when you go out there and meet them and create the relationship, they they won't bat an eye, man. If they like you and you treat them really well, they're already they're ready to follow you to war. And and so that's worked out really well, and I'm very appreciative of the physician that invited me there, because it's opened a lot of cases, and certainly my capacity to help. And so that's out in the Lufkin area, so northeast. Then I was very blessed to be invited to participate as an interim medical director for the post acute care hospital, PAM, large conglomerate of rehab facilities. Um, they had the need of a physician that could oversee their hyperbarics program. As you know, here we have a hyperbarics program at Hope, and so we've had to be credentialed and trained in that. So it's not every doctor that can supervise, but they have a wound care program plus a hyperbarics program out there, and it led to me building an office there and a site of service. And so we placed a RVT that was trained by Jill and by our people, so that we had really high quality ultrasounds. And we got an amazing nurse practitioner down there, Justine. And so we've created a clinic there. And at the same time, we had an opportunity to regroup with an old friend. There was a podiatrist out in that area that was looking for another opportunity of growth, and his non compete would preclude him from staying in Victoria. But El Campo is a very nice city from a strategy standpoint. It's on 59, close to Richmond, Wharton, and in a spot that required care, required people. And so we were able to build also an office. And so in El Campo, we have also RVT, nurse practitioner, and our good friend, Dr. Tomas Trevino, who's just an amazing podiatrist that's joined our group. And I mean, it's been great. Within, I want to say we're at about 6 months mark from opening Ocampo. So things are moving in the right direction. I think trying to exert responsible medicine in communities that need
Hmm.
has been very helpful. Has been. I think it's karma in many ways. It's just, do the right thing, put your head down, shut up, and work. Manifest yourself as positively as you can, and I think things start aligning for you.
Yeah. I think something that I've observed is just visiting Hope is I think you have a knack for creating culture and structure. Like I've watched your like how you run uh like the meetings with the software you develop, which we haven't talked about yet, but I think you should definitely put that out there into the world because that software's a great idea. And I want to see if I can get a license from you when I start my own thing.
I
But
told you, you have it.
but I think it definitely the structure around it, I think will probably lend itself to creating a culture where things work cohesively and then you can expand and that allows you to expand because there's this base of understanding and you kind of drive the because you think about PAD in a very deep way. Um, so I think that kind of translates and permeates through what you've done. So that's been pretty impressive to watch. And
It's
I'm
so
watching.
hard.
Yeah, I
And man,
imagine.
it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
I can tell you that you want to talk about one of the hardest things looking back, reflecting upon going on 4 years, is creating that mystic, that je ne sais quoi, that glue, that culture. You call it whatever you want to call it, but it's so hard. And I'm so blessed that I have some wonderful people around me that have helped me understand that, because it's really hard to know what makes people tick. So it's not only hiring the right people, it's then keeping them engaged, because everybody's capacity and emotions are just very different. And Crystal's here next to me. She's been on the show before with us. And a shout out to her, because she's really been essential in trying to help me, understand how people appreciate life, how people appreciate feedback.
Yeah.
And we did something that's been a little bit of a joke here in the office in the last 2 weeks. But we sent every office member an online tool to determine your love language. And yeah, and
What's your love language?
my
Yelling at
love
yelling
language,
at people that they're too slow in the OR?
my love language is words of affirmation.
Well,
So
you're wonderful, Miguel.
thank you. I thank you. I appreciate you so much for saying that. I do. I agree. But no, but and I'll tell you what this stemmed from. We had just a very wonderful employee with us, that was doing things really well. And for me, that is somebody that doesn't need a lot from me. Like, you're doing
Yeah.
everything good. I'm going to focus where I feel that there are opportunities for improvement, where there's maybe some problems, where we really have to make sure that change is exerted. And so you hyper focus on that. And then you distract yourself for a minute out of a part of your corporation that's just doing wonderfully well. Well, let me tell you all out there right now, if there's some people really doing a good job, figure out what their love language is, and be sure to go back to them and find the way in which you can connect with them to show that appreciation. It may be physical touch, right? It may be a high five in the
Don't get
office.
don't get
No, no, no. I'm not
yourself
not talking
too.
about that. No, I knew you were going to go there. I should have said acts of kindness.
Physical touch
But
is not allowed, I think, by law.
this is not the type of physical touch you're talking about, sir. But it could be a pat in the back. It could
Mm.
be a high five
I don't yeah, I think only a high five is
on the
allowed.
I'm like on the shoulder.
I don't
y-
do it.
it-
Don't
and
do it.
anyway, you're deviating from a very important point, which is
Yeah.
I lost focus out of somebody that probably required words of affirmation. And like out of left field, she was like, "Hey, here's my 2 weeks." It's
Mm.
like, what the fuck? Like, I thought you were so happy. And when we had our like last interview, she was essentially saying like, "Hey, you stopped giving me feedback. And
Mm.
I thought that you were really unhappy with my work." And then I also had sent her a text message that, essentially was like, "Hey, there's this issue, like, we really need to sit down and talk through it, and I want your opinion," or something like that. And her interpretation of that message was that, that I was really dissatisfied with her performance. And it was just sad because it was somebody that I really, really would have loved to have kept. And so it's really important that you figure out as you're building your corporation what makes people tick, and that you take the time to appreciate in their own ways everybody for what they're doing. And that's really, really hard because the bigger you are, the less of that, right? Going back to your example, right? I mean, a tiny hospital, you can control culture much more than in a hospital where there's 1,000 employees. It's really hard because
Yeah.
it's almost like autopilot. But even in small groups like ours, I mean, we're a spec, right? We're 30 people. But even with 30 people and 3 or 4 sites of service, it's hard to keep consistency in the message. It's hard to keep everybody engaged. Sometimes I just drive to these clinics, even if I don't have clinic. I'll just drive and hang out with them. I'll bring in breakfast and I'll hang out with them and just say, "Hey, what's going on?" And I'll figure out shit like the toilet's not working, or this person sometimes talks a way that I don't like. And it allows you the opportunity to figure out some ways to try to fix that and create that culture. And I think that's really important for any of you out there that are building your own thing. Keep an eye on that one employee that's not talking that much and it's doing great. Figure out how to make them feel happy and feel appreciated, because those are people that need that, even though you may think they don't, but they do. Everybody does.
Yeah. So what's the master plan after? So
We're
3
gonna
sets
take
of
over the
service,
world.
4 sets of service. What's the mission? What's the
We're
vision?
gonna take over the world. Nobody here is gonna do PhD ever in this. No, listen, I would love to think that we can grow um, as an entity. I would love to hire and to build partnerships with more vascular surgeons. I would love to have 5 or 6 vascular surgery partners.
Mhm.
I don't necessarily think that I'm going to need a lot of them in here. I would rather have multiple hopes in different places that have this multidisciplinary care. Find ways in which you can continue to create value for podiatrists and wound care folks, that even though there's not a whole lot of margin, to be very honest, and especially
Mhm.
after the changes in the reimbursement in 2026, they still have a very important value. And I think patients very quickly note the value of having everything under one roof. High quality ultrasounds, that's really at the core of our mission. We need to be
Mhm.
able to provide that long-term surveillance at a very high level. And yeah, man, and maybe here, um, I'm what was I? Was it 47 or 48? I'd love to think that by 55 to 58, I can find some liquidity event that allows me to continue working at a lower pace and live part time in Costa Rica.
Mhm.
If I can make that happen, our Costa Rican research corporation is surely but slowly but surely growing, and so it'll allow me a secondary exit. So the clinical exit at some point and then maybe take a job, take a part-time job, continue because you don't sell your company and then leave because you're the motor of the company. So nobody's going to buy me if I'm going to leave. So I'm not putting that
Yeah.
out there. I'm not planning on doing that, but I definitely don't want to be the boss forever. And then at some point, I would love to be able to go to my house in Costa Rica off the um, Pacific
Where?
Coast.
Pacific Coast? Yeah.
Pacific Coast. I just came from spring break in Santa Teresa,
Yeah.
and I
I
can
like it.
tell you that, ooh, that would be a very special, unique place. The problem is, I think it's a little distant from airports, and so if I really want to live a
Mhm.
Houston, Costa Rica life, I'd probably get closer to the Liberia airport and be maybe in Conchal, Tamarindo, somewhere a little bit more north where that distance between the airport and the beach would be less. Let's say no more than an hour is what it should be. And then I would probably sell my suburban, beautiful lake property and get a condo in the museum district. And that's how I would live. And then I would drop Lucas, the good looking Lucas, I mean, um, to do his university out in Costa Rica or something. I think that would be super cool for him to just
There's gonna be no university,
high
bro.
school. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
high school. Let's say he'll do high school
Yeah.
in Costa Rica and then do whatever, right? Do whatever craft you
Yeah.
decide to do and go
Yeah.
and travel the world with 2 passports. You may be able to do a lot.
Yeah. That's a great plan. I like that.
Yeah, who knows if it will work out, but we'll try our best.
Some part of it will, for sure. Yeah, I think I definitely want to build something. I don't have the urge to build like multiple sites and like have it exit and something like that. It's
So you
just
should take my offer.
I should take your offer.
See, now
Yeah,
now
you
I'm
want
gonna
to
put you. I'm gonna put
all
you in
right,
front of
let's talk about it.
our
Let's talk
ten
about it. Yeah.
thousand people out there. Lucas
Our
does not want
million
to work
follower.
for Hope
No. So let's talk about it. You gave me an offer to build
Yes,
Hope Austin.
or Hope wherever. I don't care.
Hope wherever. Yeah. Well, I think Austin. I want to say in Austin. I like the Austin area. All right. So or Hill Country. Um and yeah, I've been thinking about it. I thought about it today again. We were going to talk. Um yeah, at the time, I want to have what I do want is a seat at the table. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
of
I want
course.
it like an equal seat at the table. And obviously you built Hope and it's yours, So it would feel like it wouldn't be equal. So and that's obviously you put
Yeah,
3 years of work into it. But if
yeah.
I'm
3 years
going
of work and pain.
in pain, so obviously. So
You could
at
buy
the
a seat at the table. That's different, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if I would say this, when you're coming into a corporation that's already matured, it's just going to be very difficult to say I want founder level, right?
Yeah,
Because
of
you're not
course.
a founder.
Yeah,
So how
yeah.
do you become founder when you're not? So what I told you, and happy to go into the minutia, but what I offered you is be the majority owner of this fragment of the company, and whatever that segment of the company, whatever the performance of that segment of the company is at the time of the liquidity event, is going to be yours, right? So whatever, let's say Austin, if the EBITDA of Austin is $1 million and you get a 16x, then you're going to go home with $16 million. I'm not going to take any of that because the EBITDA is going to be a conglomerate of EBITDAs of different entities. And so I said, I'm going to take my EBITDA, you're going to take your EBITDA, and that's fine. But to have a a founder level opportunity at the just the bigger overarching company is going to come at the expense of an investment.
100%.
Because and we never really talked about that, because if you were said, I want to be 50-50 owner of Hope, I'd be like, okay, well, you're gonna have to open your fucking checkbook and figure out what that number means, because at this point you're coming into a company that's billing $8 to $10 million a year. So it's not a startup, right? It's not you and Demetrius in the kitchen talking about this cool thing you're gonna do. It's a company that's been through blood and pain and sweat. So I can figure it out. We can figure it out, but it's going to have a few zeros behind it, because that's how you buy a piece of I want to be at the table. Now, it doesn't need to be huge. I mean, it could be
Yeah, it doesn't need to be.
but
Yeah,
it
not
can
definitely
absolutely
not.
be, hey, I'll make it happen, man. Brother, if you
For
want to reconsider this now
yeah,
in front of everybody right now in America
I could.
listening to this and
Yeah,
around the world, you have a
yeah.
spot at the table. Do not miss a beat about that. You absolutely,
Okay.
man. I love
All
you.
right.
I would
All right.
do everything I could to work with you.
All right. Well, if we can work out, I'll take 20%. I can buy 30%.
Don't make that happen. Okay,
All
now
right.
we're
Hope,
talking.
hope Austin. Hope Austin, baby.
Hopston.
Hobson.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Well,
Let's
and
talk.
now more than ever, because I
Yeah.
will tell you that your best qualities as a man are gonna flourish in the next few
Yeah.
months. This is
Yeah.
the most beautiful time in your life as you mature emotionally, and you become a dad. A lot of things that are very magical that are still inside of you are gonna come out, and they're gonna give you some just magical powers that you never thought you had. And
Yeah.
it's gonna make you incredibly sensitive human being. It's gonna make you a very caring human being. It's gonna make you not care about money that much. And that's what I think makes just beautiful humans. The
Yeah.
moment that you lose interest in the material world, and I'm not saying that I'm not, and hey, I'm capitalist to the fucking bone, but
Yeah, Mister, I want to fucking
yeah,
have
but
a
it
two
really
huge
at the end of the
exits.
but
Two,
let me
not
tell you
one,
this.
two big
Let me tell
exits.
you this. Let me tell you this. At the end of the day, I don't care about it.
I get it.
I know that I'm
Yeah.
like, it sounds like it doesn't make sense, but I absolutely tell you, if at the end of the day, I end up with Jenna and Lucas in a commune and we do our own food and we have enough to pay for maybe internet,
Yeah.
I will be the happiest man in the world.
Yeah.
I can change all of this today for that.
Yeah.
If I can have food and I can have shelter and I could be in a wonderful paradise place and be happy, I'll do it. I really, I do. And I think the moment you don't care is the moment that that shit starts happening for you.
100%.
If what you do is you go to sleep and you wake up and all you want is money and money and money,
Attachment.
I don't know. I think the
Yeah.
world has a way of just fucking with you and saying, no, you're not gonna get it. The
I
moment
think if
you're
you,
like, you know what? Fuck it. If
yeah,
it comes, it comes. I'm gonna do the right thing.
yeah,
Then it fucking rains.
The Buddha said that attachment is the source of all suffering.
See, I've got Buddha here, bro.
Yeah.
No, this is not Buddha. Who's this one?
I don't know. Yeah,
It's
that
like an
is Buddha.
Indian. Looks like a
Yeah,
Buddha.
that is Buddha. Yeah, no, I agree. And that's the thing. I completely like. Yeah, what I think what you said, like some people might not understand, but I completely agree now
But you
that
understand it, right?
I understand
Like,
that. Yeah, because like the moment Courtney got pregnant, I was like, oh fuck this. I just want to spend more time at home.
yeah. And
That's
it
it.
just gets better.
Yeah,
That's the thing. It's right
yeah,
now you don't even see it.
yeah,
And then it comes, and then this little creature that can't speak and can't talk and can't fend for itself. And now then this other level. And then one day they speak. And then one day they say, Daddy, I love you. And holy moly, everything just goes like all of it doesn't matter. None
yeah.
of it matters.
Yeah, but then
None of the bullshit.
there is something on the flip end that matters, and I'm having a boy, you have a boy, and I think that
Miguel
uh,
Jr.
yeah, I'm having Miguel Jr. Yeah, I think that then you have to, okay, like what type of man do I get to model for that young
Oh,
man,
very
and
important.
I think that the man I want to model is a man that's always finding his edge. And to find your edge, you have to go out there and create things. So and to come into challenges and to get uncomfortable. So, you know, I think we all get to a point in our career where that edge is no longer in the OR. Like today, I did like, bilateral iliac occlusions, long SFA occlusion, hour, retrograde P2 axis, hour and a half. Okay, we're done. We're listening to music. It's chill. So now the edge is business. Now the edge
Exactly.
is
Exactly.
creation. When business is just creation, right? So there is. So that's what I want. I think that's what you're doing too.
Yeah, it's
So,
it's a constant seek for intellectual appetite and creation and construction. And what you can what you can tell them. I was talking to Crystal Stewart earlier. It's like what are we supposed to teach our kids at this point in life that they're not going to be able to do through artificial intelligence and through all these wonderful tools that are coming in the future? You can't AI won't be able to tell you how to be a good person, right? Like,
mm,
infuse a good moral compass. Show him
yeah.
what discipline is.
Hmm.
My kid will see me in the morning and will see me every day waking up at the same time, putting on my scrubs and getting out of the house. And he says, "Dad, you're going to work today. I love you." And he knows, right? Like, he knows I'm going to work because he knows I'm doing this for my family, because he knows this is important
Mm,
for us.
yeah.
And he already knows that. So I learned that from that. I mean, this resilience against all odds to just fucking get out there and go every day. It doesn't matter if it rains or shines. It doesn't matter if you're having a bad day or a good day. You get the fuck out of the house and you go and you work and you do the best to be the best. Nobody can help you get that other than your parents. That comes from home.
Yeah. I
So
think
teach
other
your
than
kids to
for I
be good.
think, you know, not to be too sexist here, but I think for a boy, not your dad. It's like
Yeah,
your mom
100%.
is, the motherly female figure has another role,
Yeah.
in my
And then,
opinion.
and then initially,
So yeah.
initially, at least this is my very biased opinion, but initially it's all me.
Mm,
I think as they grow, they start then pulling into mom a lot more.
yeah.
But those first few years, I would say maybe 3 to 5, it's all about what dad is. Like, what is that like? And the interesting thing is that all he wants is to be my best friend. Like,
Yeah.
he is so eager to love and to receive love in return that sometimes we're like being mean or being this, and then we just think all he wants is to be your best friend. That's all he wants. Just like, let him be your best friend and figure out what you need to do in order for that to be able to happen.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're at the
Anyways.
top of the program.
All right,
We'll
brother.
give that's it to all of
That's it.
you beautiful people out there that follow us in our madness. That's an update to the roller coaster of the life
And
of flow host
if
life.
you're thinking of being independent, if you're thinking of creating your own vision of what we do, we encourage you to go into the madness and go into the journey. And we are here to help out in
Yes.
whatever small amount of knowledge that we have. So
Reach out,
reach
guys.
out.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you,
Hmm.
LinkedIn,
LinkedIn.
email,
Yeah.
text. It's so cool when somebody out there says, "Hey, I love the show,"
Yeah.
or "Hey, I hated the show." I don't care if you hate the show. Let us know too, because apparently the moment that you start getting hate mail is the moment that you
That's
succeed. So go
great.
on,
It's
hate
great.
us. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
But you want to be part of the show too. You've got some cool stories. You want to share something. You want to throw the shit around with us. Also, reach out. We're
Yeah.
constantly, trying to find good people to talk to, and it's not hard. And you know why it's not hard? Because there's so many awesome people out there that it's just a
Yep.
matter of taking the time and getting on this. Look at this. Lucas is somewhere in the world. I'm somewhere in the world. You can also be somewhere in the world. Talk to us. Let's do it.
All right, brother. Vamos.
Bye bye.